Hey guys, Mike's Minority coming at ya. Why am I underground? Well, if you guys follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you might have seen that I actually went out of my way to repair a toy grade RC. Why a toy grade RC? Well, besides the fact that I could care less that it's a toy grade, because as you all know, I don't care if it's toy grade, I don't care if it's hobby grade. An RC, it's an RC. I don't care if it's an actual remote control car. Bonus point if you know what the difference between our radio control and remote control cars are. Anyway, I digress. Well, why did I do that? Well, basically, I feel like this RC was a pivotal point when it came to the RC hobby. Mainly because I know for a fact that every one of us, at one point or another, asked for this damn thing. And with me specifically, anytime I went with my folks over to Toys R Us or KB Toys or whatever toy store was back then, they never had it. Either they were sold out or they never received them to begin with. So I mean, it was kind of cruddy. Well, the other day, thankfully, just randomly, I just randomly came across one. And I couldn't say no, so I picked it up. So without further ado, let me show you what I'm talking about. And now let me flip you guys around. Now, hey Buzz, could you do me a hand? Can you give me a hand here? And no, do not throw your arm.
To infinity and beyond.
Hello there. Look at a happy little RC. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. What I have here is none other than the one and only RC. Right, little guy? You want to get into position for me? You can do this. I know Buzz is on come here for a second. Let me get Buzz up for you. Alright, Buzz, hold off. Alright, RC, you're free. Go for it, buddy. There you go, you just needed that spaceman off of you. So, none other than RC, the RC car. From our favorite movie, Toy Story. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the car, shall I? Alright, here we go. So basically, RC, the RC car. This little guy, speaking in radio control terms, in actual RC terms, he is a brushed buggy, 2-wheel drive. There's really not much else I can say about him. He, when I picked him up, he needed he wouldn't move. So I tore him apart, as you guys will be able to see on Instagram and Facebook. I'll share those pictures. Basically, his pinion gear was needing some help. So I went ahead, adjusted the pinion gear, adjusted a couple more of its gears inside, which actually, the gearing on this thing's kind of weird. It's not just one or two. Now, besides that, while I was in there, and besides adjusting the actual pinion gear for him, I also threw in a little bit of grease, just a tiny little bit. Even though they are plastic gears, I went ahead and did that for them. I also threw conformal coating on its PCB. Why? Because, well, I want this thing to last. It took me forever to find one, and randomly finding it was just amazing. So, basically, this little guy is the one that actually comes with the Buzz Lightyear action figure. Now, little Buzz right here, there's a little hole up on the top where you can just sit Buzz down, and the attention to detail that the toy manufacturers had for this one, Buzz is actually holding on to RC's spoiler. I mean, I thought that was actually pretty interesting, if you ask me. I mean, there's really not much else to say about the little fella. To me, this little guy walked so that the Typhons could run. And so let me tell you a little bit about his remote, because his remote's actually, the way that he works is actually kind of interesting. Like I said, he doesn't only have, you know, your basic gear, he has a little bit more inside. So when it comes to the remote, just a regular remote, not a big deal. Now in the movie, basing myself off the fact that RC had an antenna and so did the remote, I'm going to say that he was either 27 megahertz or a 49 megahertz RC. This guy is actually upgraded, and this one's actually at 2.4 gigahertz. So it runs on the same frequency then that every single other RC nowadays runs. When it comes to remote, like I said, just your basic trigger forward, backwards, and steering wheel. Now there's absolutely no proportional steering on this thing. It's all or nothing here. Now when it comes to actually in the same can be said about throttle. It's all or nothing. Which you know, again, toy grade. It's all right. Speaking of toy grade, yep, the steering trim, which actually is pretty true. He does go pretty straight, which for toy grade, I'm actually kind of impressed. But overall, I mean, like I said, I think the RC car is super cool. So let me go on ahead and let me show you. Oh, wait, did I also mention? He's got 2 speeds. Yes, 2 speeds. He's got his regular speed, and then you flip this little guy up. That little light turns on, and now you got turbo speed. So he does go a little bit quicker, and you can actually see it go quicker. So let's go on ahead and let me show you exactly what these speeds do. Let's go. Okay, we are back now. Let me show you real quickly. This is just a regular speed. Nothing to write home about. Just your basic. Alright, now let me show you. Once we flip turbo switch up. Yeah, you can see he actually picks up a little more speed with the turbo switch. Now, obviously, like I might have mentioned, everything is electronically controlled. There is no... there you go. Everything is electronically controlled. There's no 2-speed transmission or anything under. It's just all off the PCB. And, I mean, overall, I couldn't be happier. This is actually, and I know I say this a lot, but when it comes to toy grades, this has actually been one that I've been after for years on end. And needless to say, this is gonna be definitely, unlike the Stinger, definitely gonna be a little bit of a shelf queen, because I mean, how, you know, granted this isn't an original, it's not a repop, it's not even an antique or anything, but still, you know, I'm happy about it. And overall, who doesn't want a little RC in their life? So yeah, that's about it, guys. Once more, and let me bring you down a little bit here, and I'll just leave you with a few minutes of this little guy running around for you. Alright guys, well, once again, this was Maxman RC with RC, the RC car from Toy Story. Have a good night.